year. How have the improved facilities helped in going forward, especially with regards to recruiting?
Oh, it's helped a lot. I mean, there was a fantastic night out there on Friday night. The stadium is just about complete. I always thought we had one of the nicest fields, not only in the Pac-12 but the country. Now you had this grandstand and the hill still there, and the facilities around it with the restrooms and concessions is thrown away. So it's helped a lot. I mean, now at the end of the day, we got to win too. So having a fine facility also requires us now to do our job on the field. And even though we didn't get the win Friday night, I was extremely happy at where we're at right now. And I thought, step one was I'll put a check mark by that for Friday night.
Todd, what was the takeaway from last year? I know that the conference record wasn't what you wanted, but looking back at that year, what did you take away?
I took a lot. I mean, I've said this before a couple times this year. Year one, we had a fantastic year from a record standpoint. I mean, we tied the record for most wins in Pac-12, school history, et cetera, et cetera. And I think the team was good year one. Don't get me wrong, 14 wins. But I think last year's team, honestly, Jim, I think was better. And I know that's hard to believe because of our results, but you look back and you really dissect your program and, hit the crossbar and post 20-some times last year. Some things didn't roll away. I get that. But we played a good brand. We were tough to deal with. I mean, the results just didn't add up. I think there was 12 games I heard on the Pac-12 Network the other night. We lost by 1 goal last year. But it comes down to this. Our shot selection has to be better. We led the conference in shots last year, led the corner kicks in the conference, but nothing to show on an offensive corner kick. I mean, those things there, we got to get better on our service. We got to get better at runs in the box, our timing, et cetera, et cetera. So I think overall, where we shoot this year has to be, be specific where we want this, not just shooting the ball to shoot. Be a goal scorer here.
Right. Now, and of course, you're losing Caitlin, and now you're relying heavily on Morgan. How do you get those other new kids up front to be patient with their shots?
Well, I think that's the key there is being patient, but this team is way deeper than last year's team from a goal-scoring standpoint. Everyone's going to look at, who's that going to be? Well, time will come. We are young. We are inexperienced. I have way more options this year. We're definitely more athletic, and we've got players that can play off of each other. So though Morgan scored the only 2 goals so far this year in an exhibition, and we didn't score on Friday night, that doesn't scare me one bit. We are scoring goals in practice left and right, and these young kids are going to step up here sooner or later. I'm for sure of that.
Is it possible for the Pac-12 to be even better than it was last year?
Across the board, we'll see. The top 2, absolutely. And that's nothing against USC. They were fantastic last year. But it was USC and Stanford. And I don't think USC really got in their groove until they got rolling in the NCAA tournament. Right now, it looks to be UCLA, Stanford, and a wide-open race. I think, depends on the day. But I do think those 2 are the class of the conference right now. Overall, we had some great wins this weekend. I think on Sunday, the Pac-12 was 8-0. That's a pretty high standard to set against other conferences. So, again, you never know what you get in the Pac-12. You're going to get a great soccer game, a competitive conference for sure.
Got an outstanding player here from Ferris High School, and Megan. What has she brought to the table, and what are you looking forward from her in her junior season? She's been a pretty versatile player for you guys.
She has. Last year, she filled the role for Grace, who was out with an injury for better part of the year, and she did a fantastic job with that. Megan is truly a midfielder. She's athletic. She's mobile. She's getting better and better on the ball. She's got some bite to her, which I like. I mean, if you look in that game of the night, she's the one that, got a yellow card, 2-footed tackle. What can you say? You got to give the kid credit. It wasn't a non-scoring range position situation, so she felt like she had to lay the law there a little bit, and she did. And her aerial game has really improved. She's pretty fearless, and Megan's not afraid to put her head where it doesn't belong. So this kid is fun to watch, and I think Megan is going to be a big impact for us this year.
Okay, fantastic. I think that's all I need, Todd.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
Can I add one more?
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Looking forward to this weekend. You play St. Mary's at home Friday and then hit the road for their first road contest against Santa Clara. How do you balance that home-road split, especially with the tougher game on paper being the second game on the road?
Well, it's going to be interesting, and I'll say, we got to take care of day one first here on Friday. And St. Mary's is a really good team. We watched some film on them already. They got some dynamic forwards. They can score goals. So it's going to be a test here. We got to take care of day one, and then we got to learn how to manage ourselves in between travel and recovery to get on to the next game with Santa Clara, which we already know went to the Elite Eight last year. It was a back and forth game with us last year. The game could have went any which way. So we got our hands full this weekend. You know, for me right now, it's all about Friday in St. Mary's. The girls had a fantastic practice today. They're excited. We got 2 to go, and then we get our early game, which is a little unique on a Friday 11 a.m. game. That gives us time to recover and travel and get down to Santa Clara that I know they'll be waiting for us after last year.
And then lastly, Ella named Pac-12 Goalkeeper of the Week, first award of the season in the first week. What does that mean to you, the team, to have some recognition of your captain?
It means a lot. Ella's come a long way as a captain now and as a leader. I've known Ella's been a great goalkeeper the last 2 years. Quite honestly, I thought she should have got the award last year as well. Neither here nor there, she got the first week here. So that's going to raise her confidence, raise the team. She's a commander. She's a leader back there. You know, and the goalkeepers that win these awards, Ella had some really nice saves and managed the clock well this weekend. But let's face it, our defense did a great job against a very, very good Minnesota team. So the two tie in together with Ella in the back four, and she's excited, and they're excited for her as well.